Hey, Steven.
Whoa, what's up?
So you're hard at work here in Watcher Studios.
That's right.
So hoping you could join me on a food adventure today.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Should I go through this window?
Yeah, come on through.
Is it worth it? Make it worth it. Make it worth it. Worth it. Worth it.
Today on Worth It, we're doing something a little unique. We are revisiting chefs and business owners who were previously on Worth It, who are now at new ventures.
Yes, this is my favorite part of the movie. At the end credits,
Yeah.
when they're like, where are they now? And you're like, oh, Buddy the dog is now the head golden retriever at the CIA Academy.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you went there because I was a little worried for Buddy the dog for a second.
Don't worry, Buddy's all good.
All right, Steven, for our first stop, we're revisiting Andy from Bub and Grandma's, who you'll remember was in our toast episode. Andy was the baker that made the bread for our second location, Here's Looking at You.
That's right. Remember when we met him, he was like, I want to open my own sandwich restaurant one day.
I never thought it would be bread. I mean, the business plan was for a sandwich shop. I wanted to know everything about bread so that if I was buying from someone, I wanted to know how to talk to them about it.
Andy still has the bakery, but he has now opened Bub and Grandma's, the restaurant. So we're gonna be chatting with Andy, trying some of their delightful baked goods, as well as a roast beef sandwich on their house-made Kaiser roll.
Last time we were here, you were saying like it was always your dream to open a restaurant.
Yeah, I never had any designs on opening a bakery. The point was to open a sandwich shop and something significantly smaller and less complicated than this one, but the bakery took off on its own, and I'm super thankful that that happened. The bakery now is totally self-sufficient. It's just Abel, who's our head baker, and then we have an ops manager, Zach Huber, who started with us as a driver. It's a great team that has come up through the business over the last 7 years. And now we're back at this thing that started me baking bread in the first place. We're surrounded by all of these great people that are making this so much more comprehensive than it could have ever been, you know, I guess now 8 years ago when I was just baking bread in my house, which is 5 minutes from here. Our head chef here is Zach Jarrett. Zach is super creative, has tons of ideas. Christopher Lear was our head baker at Bub's and was part of us growing the whole place. We have Daniel, who's our GM. Like, we just understand each other. The menu has been brewing in my brain for a long time and has evolved so much since before I started the bakery, but then you add Chris into the mix, who has a pastry background, and now allowing him to kind of showcase his genius, because he is a genius.
Could you kind of describe like the feeling of eating a perfect sandwich?
A lot of times I feel like sandwiches solve problems for people. Like, I need a sandwich is like a thing that people say often. It's kind of like how people feel about a burger, like very particular comfort food items. It's important that when you do have that perfect sandwich experience, that it's the experience you want, not just like the experience dictated by what sandwiches are available.
Today we're going to be trying the roast beef sandwich. What is the intention of that being under $10 and like that being so affordable for people?
Having a general awareness of where we are, what people can afford in the area, not gonna just drop $24 sandwiches on people's heads here and completely eliminate a group of people from having a chance to eat our food. So there always has to be equal opportunity access to our business. We bake Kaiser rolls here every morning. Kaiser roll and Hall are the two breads that we bake in-house. Everything else comes from the bakery. And those Kaiser rolls are a classic knotted kind of dinner roll that over time has evolved to be a stamped roll. So we use a plastic stamp that makes this little star shape on top, but it's basically just a simple roll. When you make it with really good ingredients, it tastes really buttery and delicious, has sesame seeds on top. And then we have really amazing roasted beef that Zach makes on the daily that is sliced and kept in beef juice that we make from the beef itself. It has raw onion, cold cheddar cheese, not melted cheddar cheese.
Why is that?
It's a textural thing. I can't even explain why, but it's just better that way. Once we plate the meat onto the bottom bun, take the top bun and put it in the juice so it soaks up the juice that's in the pan, and then set it on top. So typically when you pick it up, the whole plate is filled with a bunch of delicious beef juice.
We were there at the beginning, and now we're here now, and now I feel old. But maybe a sandwich will solve that problem for me.
We had the roast beef.
On a Kaiser roll, which I'm very excited about because I grew up eating Kaiser rolls for breakfast with just butter on them.
Sounds good.
Cheers, Steven.
Cheers.
Oh.
I've been doing this thing where I eat now.
Yeah.
And I just have like visceral grunts when food is good. It's like, oh.
I think that's how you know you're getting old.
It really is true.
There's something about the freshly moistened bread. It's not like soggy and unappealing, but it's like soaked up the juice, but it is still bread.
How is this $9? You're getting a freshly baked bread.
Excellent roast beef.
Cooked well, cooked right, sliced at the right thinness. That juice was used to soak the bread up.
The cheese is just right, the sauce is there. There's not too much going on either. It's like just the right side of decadence.
Yeah. How about that cold cheese?
You know what? It's good. I don't know why it's good, but I appreciate a specific choice.
Yeah.
This is a tremendous sandwich.
Donuts, Chris used to do at the bakery for the farmers markets on Sunday. I know Adam was a donut eater back in the day.
Still is.
Still is an avid eater of donuts. Some of the flavors that have kind of risen to the surface are passion fruit, which is my favorite forever, lime, which is sort of a non-traditional donut flavor, but is just so good. It's got that like little sour hit.
What's going on here?
Wait, was
Oh no.
That's a good donut.
oh my gosh, that's so good. So when I was a kid, I was like, I don't like limes. I was like, they're sour. And then somebody pointed out to me, there's lime in Sprite. And I was like, oh.
Child Steven was a special kid.
And since then, I've been realizing that lime isn't everything I like. And then even when I heard lime donut, I was like, no. But yes.
Sandwiches may solve problems, but these donuts gave me a whole new problem. I just want to eat more donuts. All right, Steven, we're on our way to our next restaurant. We're going to see Max, who you'll remember from our oil episode where we featured his boon sauce.
Yes, when we met him, it was in Thailand. No, he was in Thailand. We were in America over Zoom. But this time we get to see him in person.
Yeah, we're heading to his new restaurant, Camphor, which he opened with his co-chef, Lijo. We're gonna be trying their chicken, fries with assorted sauces. Boon sauce might be on the menu, hello. And also a nice dessert to cap things off.
Let's go.
Let's do it. What kind of restaurant is this?
We always like to say, imagine if France and India, they shared a border, and this door was just like a little portal to a restaurant on that border. And on that border, that restaurant is on the French side. So it's like kind of introducing more of like an Indian clientele to our restaurant on the French side. We're cooking the food we're more comfortable cooking, which is French cuisine, but we're taking on the influences, the spices from our neighboring country.
Why did you guys name it Camphor?
I'm Thai, and he is Indian. Doing some research on the Indian and French connection, one of the first exports from Kerala, where he was born, was camphor. It's like a waxy substance from cinnamon leaves.
Cool name, I think. It's a different name. So you're like, okay, let's do that.
Could you tell us about the dishes that we're trying today?
So we are trying today the chicken. We get a whole piece of chicken into the kitchen. We break it down, the breast separate, leg separate, wing separate, and carcass separate. With the both breast, we put them in the brine with the different spices, pink pepper, black pepper, garlic, thyme, garam masala. On the side, we make a mousse out of the chicken legs and tenderloin of the breast. We blend it over with mushroom puree, truffle, egg, cream, garam masala. After that, we take off the skin from the chicken breast. We dust a little bit meat glue.
I'm sorry, what was that, meat glue?
Meat
Yeah,
glue.
transglutaminate, enzyme that helps bind protein.
Yeah.
Okay, meat glue for short.
We put the mousse on the top of the chicken breast and we cover back with the skin. And we roll with the cling film. We tie it with both sides to take off all the air from inside the cling film, and we poach it first. And once we get an odor, we sear them in the butter with the garlic and thyme. That takes maybe 3 to 5 minutes. Putting that mousse on the top of the breast, it kind of helps the breast not getting dry. So it's kind of prevention, and after we just slice it, glaze with the traditional way of chicken jus.
We actually serve dinner rolls with the main course, so you can soak up all the sauce.
And it's finished with a spice tikka masala sauce blended with classic chicken jus and put on over the chicken. That's take almost like 24 hours to prep.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is one of the crazier looking things I've ever seen.
It really is. That is a whole chicken.
Yeah, it's not that unusual of a shape, but when I think about what is in there, it's making me dizzy a little bit. Aha!
Ah, yes, thank you. dinner. I was waiting for that actually, the dinner roll.
Best part of any meal is the dinner roll.
Favorite food? Free bread. We're going Boone sauce.
Cheers, Stephen. Oh gosh.
The Boone sauce, we covered it before on Worth It, and it's found its way on the menu here.
So can I talk about like Houston's and like that's why I have Boone sauce on the menu.
Yes.
Yeah, you can say what it.
So I mean, there's a restaurant I pretty much go to all the time. I take leisure there. It's like my happy spot. I always get like 3 dips there. I get ketchup, I get honey mustard, and then they always give us the spicy aioli with the fries. So I pretty much just wanted to do that here. So we have our own version of honey mustard using a ton of the Malabar black pepper from his region. We have ketchup, and then last but not least, we have the spicy aioli. We make a traditional mayonnaise. We start whole egg. We use canola oil, olive oil, salt, vinegar, Dijon mustard. We mix in Boone sauce with a little bit of maple. The Boone adds a lot of flavor, and people love dipping the fries in it. It just felt right to do it with Boone sauce because it has anchovies, super savory, spicy, but you get like shallots. It kind of rounds it all out.
Oh my God. Hell yeah. Yeah, it tastes like so many things all at once, honestly. This one is really something else.
It's so good.
I can taste the Boone there. There's that fennel seed, the anchovy umami flavor.
The anchovy is actually, quite strong.
But it's like miscellaneous umami.
It's fries with aioli, but really it's aioli with fries. Like I'm eating the fries to eat the aioli.
Well, do you remember when we first had Boone sauce? What did we do with it? Put it on a slice of pizza with mayonnaise.
Oh yeah.
So now we just got both of those in one little pot with a French fry.
That's honey mustard.
Wow, look how dark it is with that pepper.
Oh,
Oh wow. It's reminiscent of honey mustard, but it really tastes different. So this has that unique black pepper that's sourced from Lee Joe's hometown.
We actually import directly from like a 60-kilometer radius from his hometown.
I went back to Kerala for 2 months vacation before opening. I went different farm and I tried different spices.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so the black pepper we use, kind of moist, so it's super spicy.
I love that I can eat this sauce, but also be 5,000 miles away. To think that honey mustard would be the thing that transports me to India. This is the portal. Now to the chicken. Holy, what is this texture? I only knew of mousse as a kid, like as the thing that my dad put in his hair. And now I'm eating chicken mousse.
Pretty crazy, huh?
It's crazy.
Oh, that's good. Holy moly.
There's so much to say about that chicken. I want to talk about the texture first, but then like the spices also.
Yeah, it is a very soft presentation of these spices.
Yep.
It's like very aromatic, kind of like filling my mouth with smell.
You're just taken by the presence of this place. That's what this is.
The mousse is obviously going to be very soft, delicate texture, but the breast itself is like very juicy soft.
Super juicy soft. I think the thing I love about this chicken is you can really appreciate the different cooking techniques when you're eating it. You know, it's like they put all this work into it. It doesn't feel like they're doing it just to do it. Everything has intention and it's felt in the mouth.
Despite it being such a technically intensive dish, it still doesn't feel like it's showing off. It still feels like very comforting, almost subdued.
It's why confidence is sexy.
Okay.
You know
Here
what I
we
mean?
go.
It's like, hey, I'm here.
It's self-confidence. It's not
Right.
showing off.
Right.
So you're saying this chicken is sexy?
I mean, if any chicken was sexy, it would be this chicken.
Dinner roll?
Yeah.
I know that this is going to be the best bite. They did all that work for the chicken, but this dinner roll with the sauce, that's it. The chicken does make the sauce though, so you really can't have this moment without the chicken.
I'd love free bread. God.
The dinner rolls that we don't go through, we freeze them hard and then we slice them. We layer it on a plate, alternate dark chocolate, milk chocolate between each layer, and then we soak them in an anglaise. A lot of vanilla in there. We cover it in fouilletine, which is like crispy crepe, really thin, and pearl sugar. And then we serve it with homemade ice cream. It's traditional vanilla ice cream, but we separate the yolks, we cook that into the anglaise very thick, and then the whites we turn into a meringue and we fold into that ice cream. When it comes out, it has like a very nice like mousse texture. So that kind of helps lighten up, because I like bread pudding with whipped cream, but I know a lot of people like it with ice cream, so it's kind of best of both worlds. It's like a very airy ice cream, but also it's frozen, it counters the hot, bubbling bread pudding.
I'm just gonna go in. I can't stop myself. Stop me,
Yeah.
Andrew. Stop me.
Oh,
What?
It's so soft.
I just put my spoon through air.
The texture of this ice cream. It's like a scoop of ice cream that you forgot about on the kitchen counter. And it's like, it's already melted. But it's actually not. It's just suspended in that almost melted state. Look at this, a little pocket of chocolate.
It's like the milk chocolate. I would almost argue this is like pie-like too.
It's almost like a dessert shepherd's pie.
Oh my God.
All right, Steven, we're on our way to Carlsbad, which is a beach town north of San Diego, to our final restaurant. We're going to revisit Eric, who you'll remember was the chef at Auburn restaurant in our rice episode. We had that incredible risotto, which was actually made by pastry chef Diane at the time. We had the fish collars and pig ears at the bar. Auburn sadly closed during the pandemic, and Eric has since moved down to Carlsbad to assume the executive chef role at Jeune Et Jolie, where we're gonna be having their 4-course prefix menu dinner. What kind of restaurant is this?
It's a French restaurant, but it looks at food through kind of the lens of our Southern California landscape. So we're still cooking with local farms. San Diego has one of the highest concentrations of local farms in the country. So beautiful product, but it's meant to be approachable. Again, not pretentious. We want to keep it fun, give like choices to guests. To me, a lot of this is if you look at bistronomy and how that has taken hold in France or come up, it's...
Sorry, bistronomy. I've never heard of bistronomy.
You never heard that term?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of bistros, of course.
Bistros and gastronomy, when you put those two together, then you get bistronomy. I mean, it's a term that's probably not used very much outside of France. I'm not saying we should coin it here and use it all the time, but I do think like that's kind of the approach, right?
Yeah.
Deformalized, well-informed, solid product, consistent, delicious food in like a setting where you would want to go and hang out and have fun. So we'll start with an amuse-bouche. So the first thing is a small little tartelette made of heirloom carrots that have been cooked with lemon verbena. And then we add pickled carrots on top. We have finger lime. We're gonna add a little bit of fresh cracked pepper. There's lemon oil, finished with lemongrass and calendula flowers. It's a small bite. It's super aromatic, a lot of citrus tonality.
Cheers, Steven.
Cheers.
The amuse-bouche feels like the closest thing that I've eaten to a pet treat, but for humans. It's a complete bite.
For sure.
How else would you describe a treat? There's also something extremely nice about getting something that you didn't specifically order, but you knew it was coming anyway.
Best part of the meal are the freebies.
The tomato dish is really about, in San Diego, again, all our farms and our ecosystem have like a really unique opportunity to continue to grow things that are sometimes outside the normal growing season. The idea is a light, cold salad of tomatoes that have been peeled, marinated in olive oil with shallots and garlic, a lot of thyme, a little bit of white balsamic. Those then get dressed with purslane, shiso oil, shiso flowers, fresh strawberries. We're complementing by also taking more strawberries. We slice them, dehydrate them, and we make a strawberry powder. So you get like the two different notes plus a little bit of texture. And we're gonna finish it with a granite of raw goat's milk. So the tomato dish is really for us about the terroir of San Diego. So like everything is from within a very close radius to the restaurant.
I gotta say, it's midway through November right now. I did not think I would be eating strawberries and tomatoes. That's a treat.
When I look at a tomato, I'm not like, man, I can't wait to chow down on that tomato though. But something about this tomato makes me want to eat it like the fruit that it is.
Yeah, the tomato next to a strawberry makes the tomato make more sense. There's also the frozen goat's milk concoction on top.
Yeah.
Which is like the berries going through their frosts.
Oh, I don't know if that is the description, but it makes sense.
It's like a smoothie that you could chew.
We typically do a bread course between the first course and the second, and it can flow like as you're eating the bread, the second course can come. It's not really a course in and of itself. So milk bread, 3 small little pieces, super delicate, really light, nice chew to it. We glaze in a little bit of melted butter and fleur de sel. And then on the side, we're doing a butter made from a Brittany butter from Yves Bourdier, which is in St. Malo, so he's in Brittany. And then caramelized apples. We add a little bit of vinegar to the apples to sort of tame the sweetness, and then a bunch of thyme leaves with fleur de sel and pepper. So a little sweet, nice with rolls.
My own loaf. You got your loaf, I got my loaf. Don't touch my loaf.
I will say, of all the things to share at a restaurant, bread is one of the hardest to share.
100%.
People coming for your butter, they're coming for your bread.
That's right. Oh my God. It's a little sweet.
This reminds me of one of my firmest held culinary beliefs. No amount of butter in something can replace the pleasure of butter on something.
Second course, scallop. These are hand-dyed scallops from New England. They're roasted in brown butter and smoked eel that we cook over the Binchotan grill. They're served with a puree of roasted butternut squash. We also have some ribbons of squash that we're gonna lightly saute in melted butter. We build two different sauces. One is a consomme of poultry, so chicken consomme. This is like a clear broth, if you will. We finish that broth with the juice of raw yellow peppers. We make a second sauce that is made from all the scallop trims plus smoked eel. This is infused into milk, so you'll have this light, frothy, white, kind of smoky and sea-oriented sauce. It's also finished with a little bit of katsuobushi, so smoked bonito. We have amaranth to finish. The menu says 5 different items. What we do behind it is like a lot of things. Hopefully it just comes together in a very elegant sauce.
We saw on the menu that you could supplement an item with white truffle.
Yes.
Can we add the white truffle?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, that's right.
And then we're gonna finish with Alba white truffles.
Oh. This brings me back, man.
Yeah, the first episode we did, we ate that white truffle pizza.
Yep. And I was never the same.
No.
Did you catch how the truffle landed on the scallop and just
Oh yeah.
became one with it? That's
Yeah.
like my favorite thing.
You're such a fancy boy now.
You know what? I'm going like max truffle.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Wow.
If there was a food that could force you into another universe, it would be truffle. And there's no other foods that are like it, you know? The sauce is like kind of yolky. It has that satisfying like ooze.
It's very
like
yolky.
Like a yolk. I've never had truffles with scallops before. I didn't know if they would go together, but they really do.
Next course, quail. Our quail is from Brent Wolf. Northern California probably has the most exceptional quails in the country for sure. These are like larger, better flavor, better fat content and marbling. So we take them, we brine them, we then air dry them for a few days. They get roasted on the bone for the breast. We take the legs off, lightly poach them, and then sear those. And then we're serving this with a compote of figs. There's also sunchokes that are roasted in brown butter. And then we build a sauce from roasted quail jus with Madeira and black truffle. And we make a little glaze for the quail as well, which is built off of like a sherry vinegar and black truffle with caramelized honey. It's a small bird, so it works really well for us in a tasting menu format. It's not very common, so it's an approachable flavor profile, but something that most people don't have access to. It's not like you're gonna go to the market and buy quail.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a slice of breast.
Okay. Okay, the first thing I thought of, which I know it's not that, but was Peking duck.
Yeah, because of that crispy skin.
Crispy skin plus the sauce, which is like hoisin sauce.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat this this guy, the wing, with my hands.
Try to get all the meat off in one go.
Oh, that's the best bite.
So Kat, dessert, we're doing something based on honey. So local honey, there's a small little sponge cake, a compote of quince that we've cooked down, so like really red and ruby, like vanilla notes. We made a frozen custard of caramelized local honey with the spices of pandipis, so like a little bit of warm wintry spices. We also make a tuile on top with honey and top everything with bee pollen, sunflower, and sort of a gel made of orange blossom. So you're kind of getting the pollen and the flower, you're getting the actual honey caramelized into like something that's like, looks very simple, but again, I think it's super delicious, so.
This
One of my favorite food categories.
dessert.
Things that I don't know how they will respond when I put a fork in them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, it's much firmer, see?
Yeah, I thought it was super soft. Cheers. You know when you're listening to a song that's so good, and
Yes.
it gets to that swell, where the orchestra chimes in,
A crescendo.
if you're hitting that high note,
Uh-huh.
I just felt it in my mouth.
Did you get to this part?
No.
It's a little jam at the bottom.
Oh.
It's like when a cone has a little surprise at the bottom. Sometimes it's fudge. This time it's quince. The bee pollen. Think about that for a second. It's like the bee flies around, it picks up the pollen, it lands on other ones.
Right.
Then that makes the plant grow. From that plant, you get a quince. That quince gets turned into a jam that goes at the bottom of the dessert. Then you got the honey that is also made by the bee.
The bees.
Delightful. I ate the whole thing.
And then we're gonna finish with one small mignardise. So like a little chocolate that we've made, and we top with a powder of black currants, some corn flour, and fleur de sel. It's just typically something sweet that you would end with at the end of a meal. One little last sweet bite.
I'm grateful for this. Because when you finish a meal, you're like, oh, man, just one more bite, you know? And then not unexpectedly, one more bite appears.
Yeah, it's a dessert for your dessert.
Yeah, like a vacation for your vacation.
It's also interesting because it's gonna be the final flavor in your mouth. A great night of eating, and here's the flavor that you're gonna walk out of the door with.
Damn. No cheers on the last bite?
Oh my God. This is like excellent, excellent chocolate. It's just so good. You got one little bite there.
This is me holding on to like everything I own, you know? I just don't want it to end. Arguably the worst bite because it's over after this. So just as this show started, may it end in the car. Andrew, Adam, which restaurants were the most worth it at its given price point?
Oh boy, I loved every place we went to. They're chefs and owners that were on the show previously. We knew they do great stuff. And they're all great representations of what they do. I think my worth it winner is gonna go to Bub and Grandma's. Because I was just very taken by what he said. Sandwiches solve problems, and that just struck a chord with me. Also because he's from New Jersey, it felt like a tri-state area dining experience.
Oh, you're going double nostalgia right now.
Yeah, it had wafts of that. And I
Yeah.
like that. I really appreciate what he's doing there. That's my worth it winner.
My worth it winner, I'm gonna go with Camphor. It just made me think about food differently. That aioli with the boon sauce,
It was great.
that chicken, that was a delight. To see and eat chicken in such an interesting way.
So inventive.
That chicken mousse, like that doesn't sound good, but it sure does taste good. Shout out to y'all, y'all are doing good things over at Camphor. Can't wait to go back to all these places though. Carl's bad, more like Carl's good. Adam, who's your worth it winner?
This one hurts. My worth it winner is the friends we made along the way.
I feel like I've grown up on this show, and it's crazy to have done that on the internet with millions of people watching, but they're still here, so thank you.
That was beautiful.
Worth it fact. This is the last episode ever. Hope you liked it.